read the entire book in a nutshell at one time. When we're done, you're going to put the life cycle of an acorn in the right order, so make sure you're paying attention. Before we start reading, let's look back at those pictures and those diagrams of the life cycle of a tree and how a tree grows. An acorn, just like this one, will open and roots will go down into the soil, and a stem will grow up into the air. The stem will soon have leaves. This is a very young tree. It's called a sapling. Every tree starts out like this, but this is the story of just one kind of tree, an oak tree. The life of an oak tree happens over and over again. It's almost like a circle. So from the tree, an acorn falls to the ground, and then a tiny new tree called a sapling, which we just looked at, grows out from the acorn. Now it takes many, many years to grow, and when it's big enough, it's full grown and it will make more acorns. Then these acorns fall to the ground and new saplings start to grow. This happens again and again and again. Do you see how it's like a circle turning forever? All right, let's read our book. Remember, it's called In a Nutshell. It was written by Joseph Anthony and illustrated by Chris Arbet. Dawn sparkled on the great forest. High in the treetops, plump acorns were leaving their sunlit home and falling into darkness below. One little acorn wanted to stay in the light forever, but it soon lost its grip and fell too. A moment later, it landed with a thump and lay still. The forest floor was very, very dark. Somewhere deep inside, the acorn knew it must get back to the sunlight. It would have to break free of its shell and become bigger than it was. So when the season was right, the acorn burst open. It pushed out roots and a stem and stretched itself into a tiny sapling. The sapling took food from the wet soil. It soaked up every drop of light its tiny leaves could reach and grew a little more each day. As days passed into years, the sapling discovered that becoming an oak wasn't easy. Hungry mouths nibbled it. Vines choked it. Sometimes it was icy cold. At other times it was burning hot. Hard times helped make the sapling strong as it grew into a tree. Yet even the strongest trees weren't safe from everything. Still, it kept on growing and reaching for the sun. Years passed. What was once a small acorn became the tallest tree in the forest with deep roots and sturdy branches. Countless leaves touched the sunlight. They turned the light into life that filled the tree and flowed over. From this picture, I can tell that these people lived a long time ago. First of all, most people don't build their houses out of logs anymore. Also, I can see a buggy or a wagon that they would have attached to a horse instead of a car. And look at their clothes. We don't wear clothes like this anymore. It dropped acorns of its own, giving life to little oak trees and food to the forest creatures. To many, the tree gave a home. But when it was old and tired, and its limbs and roots were rotten, the mighty tree could grow no more. Its life as an oak tree was almost over. The only way for it to become bigger than it was now was to die. When the tree fell, its crash shook the whole forest. Worms and bugs took the tree's life and returned it to the soil. Finally, the tree became a pile of rich, dark earth. No one remembered that it was once a living tree grown from an acorn. It seemed that the oak tree was gone forever when another tree was planted there. The life of the oak passed from the soil into the new tree, a cherry tree. When the cherry tree grew up, birds ate the fruit, scattering cherry seeds and new life all through the forest, until the life of the little acorn became part of everything.